Have been evacuated from farms at Paarl in the Boland as firefighters battle a fire raging on the slopes of the Drakenstein Mountains. The fire, which broke out yesterday, has been fanned by strong winds. At least one house has been completely gutted. 2 SANDF helicopters and over 200 firefighters are battling the blaze, which started on the mountain slopes yesterday afternoon. The second massive fire in as many weeks has completely gutted a manor house on the Calais wine estate. The fire started at the top of the old Drakenstein Pass and spread rapidly overnight. Over 100 people have been evacuated from various farms as a precaution and are being accommodated at a nearby school hall. No injuries have been reported. Well, let's get more on the situation in the Boland. Our reporter Vanessa Puna is there. Vanessa, good afternoon. The wind has been wreaking havoc with efforts to control this. What's the extent of the fire now?
Natasha, yes, good afternoon to you. The extent of the fire at this stage is really hard to gauge. We do know that at least 2 farms have been evacuated since this blaze broke out on the slopes of the Drakenstein Mountains just above Drakenstein Pass just after midnight last night. We've spoken to the incident commander here at the Paarl Incident Command Center, telling us that about 200 firefighters along with 2 Oryx South African National Defence Force helicopters are currently water bombing this area. A short while ago on one of the farms, Calais, we saw that extensive damage has happened to one of the manor house on that farm. We also do know that at this stage over 100 people from the nearby farms have been evacuated, and they are currently being assisted at the Dal Yosefat Primary School, where roll calls are being taken and where people are being given a meal, water and so on. Some of the eyewitnesses telling us that they were called or woken up at about 3:30 this morning, people ordering them to get out of their homes because of the dense smoke. Now at this stage, Natasha, if you'll just look behind me, I'm not quite sure how visible it would be. There are still helicopters in the air here on the mountain slopes. Thick plumes of smoke still hanging over most of Paarl today. This area just behind me is of course where the Incident Command Center is currently at this point in time, and where the helicopters are scooping up water to water bomb this vegetation fire. I must just say, Natasha, that this is the second massive fire in as many weeks. Just last week, another fire breaking out here in the Drakenstein region. And that fire, firefighters were still busy damping down hot spots when this new fire took place. I asked the incident commander, Mr. Dale Norkia, whether it was not the same fire that had flared up, but he assured us that it is indeed a separate fire. We do know in the first one, an historic manor house was destroyed there. We've also seen here on this farm today that at least one structure has been burnt. And in this stage, still water bombing efforts continuing here in the Paarl region.
So we'll leave it there for now. Vanessa Puna live from the Boland region, from Paarl, monitoring the outbreak of those fires. We'll take a short break. Stay with us.